Hey guys, today we are going to be looking at the Takara Brave J Decker build team. And so here they are. And I don't have Drill Boy, I just have Power Joe, McCrane, and Dumpson. And these guys are knockoffs or KOs. I think they're some sort of like Korean version because they are fairly high quality. They're not complete garbage, or even just lesser quality than the plastic of the time, like G1 plastic. They feel maybe a touch worse, like the joints are a touch loose. You can see McCrane, his arm, which is his wheels, is super loose. But it is not horrible plastic. So these are not horrible KOs by any means. So before I move forward, I'm going to tell you how much I got this for. It was originally listed on eBay for $90, not or $90, and then it went down as a personal offer for $80. I got it, and I found out they are knockoffs. And throughout the review, I'll show you how I distinguish these are knockoffs. These are not the Sir Toys knockoffs. These are actually nice, high quality knockoffs. So I assume these are old Korean style knockoffs from like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like very nice plastic. Like they don't feel like they're from Sir Toys or like Dollar General, Big Lots. All these dollar store knockoffs. These feel very nice. I can tell that these were like the Sonokong versions. They're not made by Sonokong. I have not seen. There's no stamping on these. No stamping of some sort on these toys. So and Sonokong toys do have that. So they are definitely made in some other place other than Japan or maybe Korea. But they are not the authentic Takara ones, and they are not the lesser Sonokong versions. So they're in this strange limbo of being kind of good, but they're good. They're in this limbo of being good but not authentic, and whatever. So I contacted the seller, and I got a 40% discount. So I essentially got these guys for $40. And even at 80, I still feel like I didn't get ripped off. And the guy didn't know that these were knockoffs, so no harm, no foul. And I didn't know either. Because when, I don't know, just, it was very tempting to see them for $90, and the differences are very small. Except for, like, McCrane kind of being orange, and he's missing a wheel, but anything in this era might be missing a wheel. The stickers are held on with Scotch tape on quite a few of them. And one of the biggest ones that I noticed was this symbol. That is not the J Decker symbol. I don't know what that symbol is, but that was my first indication that these guys were not truly authentic. And then I scoured around and I found that they had zero stamping on them. No Sonokong, no Takara, no nothing. Not even a date. So yeah. And I'll get further into my comparisons and how I distinguish these from the knockoffs. But once again, they're knockoffs, but I want to reiterate that they are very nice. That they still feel like, I guarantee a knockoff, like a Sir Toys knockoff of this toy, of Dumpson, wouldn't have survived that long of me squeezing it like that. So yeah, and I am going to point out they have none of their accessories. I don't know if they came with their accessories, but McCrane obviously is missing at least the hook, and Power Joe is missing his excavator arm. So that's unfortunate, but I don't know. But it'll be okay. So I'll just work my way down. So Power Joe, he can pivot, since he's an excavator, and then the excavator bucket could probably have some articulation points, but you can just pull it off from that peg. That's just a peg connection. And here, I just like to move that up and out of the way. and you swing that down. I just like to pull it out just a touch. And then you squeeze it down or compress it. Then you bring this arm down, swing it forward, and now you can bring out the hand from the inside. Bring that down and do the same thing. And I watched a video when I was trying to find out if these were knockoffs. I watched a couple videos about the Surtoys ones, and the Surtoys ones do not have these flip out hands, but these ones do. So that's how I assumed that this is probably a bit nicer in plastic quality and engineering wise, that they didn't skimp out on this simple transformation step. So, and then you just pop his head out, and there you go. And we'll just put him right there. And now we split his legs. And now we bring this down. And then we bring this piece down. I don't really know how this works. I just make it work. And then you fold that piece down as the connector. And then same thing, flip that out. Flip this out. Flip that out. And now his legs are done. And I'm not offended that these guys parts form, especially Power Joe, because these guys were supposed to be the Transformers, be in the Transformers, or their engineering was basically the Transformers. So I'm not upset that this toy and other toys of the Brave series transform like this and are parts formers, because they're basically G1 toys, and you can definitely see that. No articulation really at all. You get a useless knee, but really just shoulder articulation. So there's Power Joe, and I really like his aesthetic. I really like these toys. I want to say that I'm not bashing them, not bashing the seller that I got these off of, because I really still enjoy them. They give me a taste of what will come when I get some authentic ones. So now Power Joe. Not Power Joe McCrane. This does extend, and then it can go up and down. It has a slight ratchet, and this is supposed to come off. And loose joints are very prevalent on this set. This is very loose. Like gravity can't even it can't even stay up from its gravity. And then obviously this. And like his toe is fairly loose, and his arms are mainly this joint's loose, but it's not awful. It's very well played G1 toy tolerances. So for McCrane, I'm just gonna take this off because it's just annoying, and we're going to just spin him around, flip his feet down. I can get my fingernail underneath of it there. Then you fold out the arms, swing them down like that. I assume on the authentic one, these probably spin in, but this one does. And the authentic one does have a chest plate that covers all this up. I don't know if this one had that and it just got lost, or if it just didn't have it. So I think the original is supposed to have some sort of chest plate that tabs on parts forms onto it, and you're supposed to pull that head out, or you're supposed to depress it. But I am just gonna braze that back up, or it'll just stay like that for the rest of the view. There. You're supposed to depress that whenever you go to Build Tiger mode or Super Build Tiger. But I don't do that, because you just saw that I need like a knife or something to pull it out, and I don't want to do that. But what you're supposed to do with this is take the crane off, I think, and put it on either one of these pegs, and then keep this on like that. But then this is like bowed, so it's just, I don't know. I'll just do it like that. So yeah. And now Dumpson, I really like Dumpson. He can actually dump the bed of the dump truck. I really like that. Like Long Haul can't even do that. Long Haul can't do it. Landfill can't do it. I think only just a couple modern toys, dump trucks can do that. I know Revenge of the Fallen, Long Haul can do it, but this came out in 1994, and that was like 2009. You know, that's like what 15-year difference, but I like it. You can't really put anything in here. You kind of can, but not really. But we'll flip him over, and we'll swing the sides out. Bring his hands out, and same thing here with the keeping that transformation step and not getting rid of it. And flip those out like so. And now we will extend his legs and bring his feet down like that. And then we'll come to the side. I'll just split him to make it a touch easier. Flip out his head. And now push him together like so. And there is Dumpson. And a lot of knockoffs don't have a tight tolerance on this gap. They're very big. The pegs are super tight. So just another iteration that this may be a knockoff, but is a very, very high quality one. Because that gap is, very tight. It's not perfect, but it is probably to the same level and tolerance of the authentic and original one. So yeah, there they are together. And I don't know if McCrane extends. No, he doesn't. There they are, and I really like them. They look cohesive. They look very nice together. And they, you can definitely see in the robot modes that they are G1 toys. Their arms, they're just general aesthetics. Even like their face sculpts, like very general. Not, the camera's not really focusing, but their head sculpts are just, they look like G1 toys. They look like they're from G1, and that's fine. I love G1, and I love Takara Brave. I've started watching the rest of Takara Brave. I've gotten through X-Kaiser, Firebird, and I just started Dugarn. I'm on the second episode, and obviously I finished Jay Decker. And I really like him. I really like the toys. I love these toys. And I'm just a really big fan of the series. And I really like the toys, and you can definitely see the genetics between Brave and G1. So yeah. So if you know anything about the build team or just Brave in general, is that these guys can obviously combine into Build Tiger. And then you add Drill Boy, which will make it Super Build Tiger. And I am looking at a knockoff Drill Boy to make Super Build Tiger, but the person I think wants like $40 for it. But that's something for later. So we're going to start with Dumpson, and we'll put these guys off to the side. So Dumpson, we're going to just fold his hands away like so. And we're going to split him and put that down. I'm going to do that. And we're come up here, fold that out, and fold his foot away. Now we will fold the foot out. I don't know. I think you're supposed to fold that back in. I'll just fold it back in just because. That's how I want to do it. Same thing. Close that up. Open that. And that will expose a combiner joint. And now fold that foot out. So that around. Now we have his legs. And we'll just push those back there. And we will need McCrane. We will rip this off. Put that next to Power Joe. Same thing with this. We will swivel this around like so. Transform him basically. And that's basically all we're doing with McCrane at this point. But we need to pivot right here. But we need to bring up the head. and pivot it down. So before I get any further up, just for filming purposes, the very last deciding factor of me knowing that these are knockoffs is the original and authentic version of Build Tiger will have lights on the sides of his head. These are sirens. McCrane will have siren. These will be clear, and there will be somewhere around here will be a speaker, obviously, and there will be a button on his back so you can actually activate it, and it'll make the lights will light up, and there will be sounds. That was the very last deciding factor. So look out for this W looking thing, the quality, probably this discoloration on McCrane, and the head. And you could even look at the tiger face. I didn't see too much deviation in the tiger face that I could tell. There might be some differences. I couldn't tell too much. I can't really remember at this point. But look out for tolerances, like his arm. Look out for color differences. Look out for this symbol. And look out, especially, the biggest deciding factor, in my personal opinion, is these lights. Because on the Sir toys, these lights appear on all of them. These general sirens, those are solid plastic on the original toys, on the authentic ones. But on knockoffs, they're either very poorly painted or they're just left yellow. So watch out. Watch out for this. And I think this will either be a sticker with black lines, like the construction lines, like on Power Joe's shoulders, or they will be painted. So watch out for those things. And if all those things are true, you probably have an authentic one. And also look around for stamps. These guys have zero stamping on them. Nothing. So yeah. So the fists will be utilized as the combiner joints. So just plug those on and those on like so. And now we will raise the camera up so we can get a better look at him. So now for this, we will just bring it out and then bring out the fist. And I'll leave the crane off for right now. And then this will go into that combiner joint like that. Now Power Joe, we will take his feet off, take his legs off, and we'll just fold it back up like so. And we will bring those down. And we'll leave these down here. And we'll do the same thing as McCrane. We will fold that up, fold his head down, bring the combiner joint out, bring that arm out, and do that. This is another deciding factor. It is fairly chewed up, but the arm does not stay up. And it's not this joint. It's not the joint that the arm is attached to, that Power Joe's arm is attached to. It's just the joint in general. So that was one of the first things that made me think I might have a knockoff. So now we'll spin them around, and I don't really know how they're supposed to go on these treads, but I kind of just I can't remember. There is a way you can store the treads. They're not just laying around like with the other pieces. But I can't remember at this point in time. So I'll just plug them back together and I'll put them off to the side. So now I'll just put this on his shoulder. And now we have Build Tiger. Straighten everything out. Zoom in just a touch. And here we go. Here he is. And once again, as I've been saying this entire time, is that this isn't a bad toy. This is not a horrible knockoff. It's still nice. It still would have been fun to play with if the tolerances were perfect. Still would have been good as a substitute, and it is a good substitute. It gets me excited to be able to handle the original. and to get to experience like Drill Boy with the original, it gets me excited for all those things. But it's still a very nice toy. It's heavy. It's nice and solid. Yeah, the only exception is those joints that drag it down, other than maybe the aesthetic of this orange instead of the yellow. So yeah. So I'm going to bring in not the DX, the standard. I think it's the standard J Decker that I reviewed here a little while ago. And here he is. And they scale pretty well. I think this is like a 1-to-1 scale to the original. I think this is how this toy would scale with this Build Tiger. But I think these two would scale even better if I had him in Fire J Decker mode, but I don't display him in Fire J Decker. I just have him in normal J Decker or just J Decker. But yeah, I really like how they scale together until I get the DX version of J Decker and J Decker, Gunmax, and Duke Fire. And an authentic Build Tiger, these guys scale just fine for me, and I'm not that big into scale. And there you go, you can see what the actual symbol looks like if you don't look it up, but all J Decker toys will have this on here, and they'll have chrome and nicer things, but the plastic of this toy feels just a touch better than this toy. So these toys are very comparable to each other in quality. So obviously the only difference is scale, but that's because this toy probably isn't supposed to scale with this toy. So yeah, just wanted to show that even if this is knockoff and not an original, authentic one, it still has a purpose in my collection of exciting me to when I have an authentic one, and it can scale with my SD versions, and it basically rounds out the entire cast, excluding Shadowmaru. But that will be later on down the line where I get him and the other Brave toys. But until then, he's a fairly worthy stand-in. So I can't really recommend this toy because I just stumbled upon it. If you can find this particular knockoff, or a knockoff similar to this, that is a very high quality, I would say pick it up. But the videos that I've seen when I was discovering that he was a knockoff, I discovered that knockoffs of this guy are very horrible. They Build Tiger doesn't stay together. Power Joe basically doesn't stay together. Dump Sun doesn't even connect together. They're just of horrible quality, and I'm glad that I didn't get completely scammed with that, because I'd say this is just an unfortunate accident that I got this one. But I still like it, and yeah, if you can find it, get it. If you really don't want to spend those huge prices on an authentic one. I will someday. Unfortunately, I wasn't lucky enough for this to turn out to be an original, but I still like it. Still serves a purpose in my collection, and I can't bring myself to sell it or do something else with it, or to be mad at it. Still like it. And it just shows me that even though I know a lot about the Transformers and Takara Brave, still make mistakes. I had no clue when I bought it that I was going to be going into discovering that it's a knockoff. Was I disappointed? Yeah, I was disappointed. But do I regret knowing the knowledge of that now? I do not, because now I can look at a Build Tiger, I can look at other J Decker toys, and I can know that whether it's a knockoff or not. You live and you learn. So yeah, I really like this toy. I've probably said that like 50 times in this video, but I do like it, even though it brought me some disappointment, and it's not the greatest version that it can be, but it still looks good enough on the shelf, especially with my other J Decker toys. So yeah, that's really all I have to say. So, till next time, see ya.